Mahadev. Saturn Venus conjunction, which is one of the most powerful conjunction in Vedic astrology. It is very painful and difficult too, and what ones go through in this conjunction, let's figure it out in this video today. And if you are new to my channel, please subscribe and watch till the end. And for consultations, read the description of the video. What is Saturn? Saturn is limitation, boundaries, pain, misery, sorrow, difficulty, anxiety, fear. Why? Because he gives us retribution from our previous life deeds. And what is Venus? Venus is love, beauty, luxury, charm, cash, jewelry, conveniences, and most importantly, the rejuvenation and nurturing which we receive from all our near and dear ones. So when Saturn and Venus are together in one house, one sign, what happens? Saturn stars the Venus. Saturn suppresses the Venusian effects in this person's life who has this conjunction, resulting in which the person goes through tremendous amount of pain, feels incomplete and dry from within. That is why it is one of the most painful conjunction after Saturn Moon, which I have covered last. Please watch here. So here because of this separation, this starvation, a whole spectrum of things happen in this human life. Firstly, let's imagine a woman who is a homemaker. She does everything for the home, takes care of the children, does the dishes, does the laundry, loves the husband, takes care of the husband. But the husband doesn't understand the value of her, the true value of her, and how to give back that nourishment and the nurturing and the rejuvenation back to her. Make her feel good, put a smile onto her face. He doesn't understand. So what happens? That's why the woman feels empty, unloved, less important, and the self-worth goes down, more down. For a man, a young man, let's say, who loves his girlfriend, he does everything for that girl. He brings all the daisies and the lilies and the roses and takes her out for all those fine, expensive dining. And that girl doesn't seem fulfilled. And the girl is like expecting more all the time. Why? Because this kind of man ends up with a woman who will also be having a very less self-worth and only expect that Saturn Venus boyfriend to give her the love and the nurturing all the time. Expect the boyfriend to nurture all the time, nourish all the time. She doesn't know how to nourish him back. Expect him to validate all the time. You're so beautiful, you're so loving. Not loving. You're so beautiful, you're so, pretty and all those, have you taken your dinner, all those nonsense. She would expect. But the boyfriend, she doesn't know how to give him the things which he requires. Why? Because here what happens, these people, they have that lack of self-worth from the beginning, from the childhood, let's say, or they have inherited this from their past previous lives. This is how the God has programmed their life, Saturn and Venus together. That they feel that lack of self-worth. Probably I am not good enough, I am not handsome enough, only that girl only good for me. Or that woman who is a householder, that man only good for me. I cannot get a better husband, let's marry him only. That lack of self-worth. Self-esteem is low because of this Saturn suppressing the Venus. It's like Saturn is holding the life back. So these are some examples. And also, let's say for example, a young woman, she has this. She doesn't know how to connect with others. She is having this rigidity and roughness inside. deep down inside that lack of self-worth, she ends up attracting the wrong man as her boyfriend. Then she gets cheated up, or she gets neglected, or probably abused, or maybe let's say she then later on what happens, they overcompensate. That to hide that lack of self worth, the sense of lack of self worth, they will put lot of makeup. Oh, I thought I was so dusky, I am not good looking, I am not attractive enough, let me put all those makeup, so that I feel good. Or probably wear too short dresses. All of a sudden, people will be amazed. Hey, why? She was like normal. Nowadays, she is wearing all the short dresses. All of a sudden, what happened? Now she is overcompensating. Okay. Then some uncomfortability is also there. But the other women, those who are wearing short dresses, they do not have this problem of Saturn Venus. They have normal Venus. They are okay, nicely carrying themselves, confident. But here, this overcompensation is disturbing. Disturbing her, not letting her who she is, not letting her know. So all these are painful experiences. Nothing is hunky dory. So it is so complex, this Saturn Venus. There are multiple ways of looking at it. If you are someone who is going through one of these problems, then you can relate, or you try to learn this, what it is. It is very complex. That is why the pain is also complex. And they also have a high pain threshold. What do I mean by that? Their toleration of the pain, because they are the hard worker. When they are into a relationship, they are putting so much of hard work. That man, he is bringing all the daisies and the lilies and everything, doing everything, bringing chocolate and singing all the romantic Bollywood songs. Yet nothing is happening. And that lady at home cooking biryani, doing everything. Yet the husband is not understanding her importance. So that is pain threshold, self-sacrificing. So what they are doing, self-sacrificing, tolerating. No, let me be patient. Maybe someday he will understand. Maybe someday she will understand and love me back. Love me back the way I want. You see, obviously loves her back, but not the way it should be. So that is why they tolerate, and this patient tolerance becomes self-sabotage. And it does not help the sense of self-worth. It actually disturbs. I look at the time. So it actually disturbs the self-worth furthermore. It decreases it. The person feels more empty, and it becomes more painful and toxic. They feel, why my life is like this? Why I deserve this? What is wrong in my life? Why can't I be loved? Why can't I feel nurtured and loved like others? They seem so happy. This is very painful. So, you look at what Saturn is doing. Saturn is always the villain, right? But he is not the villain. He is there to guide our consciousness to fulfill some higher goals. Now, higher goal, what is higher goal? Here, let's imagine the Venus is like a lotus. Even though Venus represents all the vegetation, this lotus is unable to bloom, which is a natural lotus, it has to bloom with time. Saturn is holding it back, suppressing it. And this Venus itself is the life. So Saturn holding back the life so that it can bloom at the right time. It can bloom properly with 1,000 petals at the right time. And Saturn holds you back for that right time and gives you so much of pain which is actually retribution from your own karmas. Yes, you do not remember those karmas. There is no recollection or there is no remembrance of those karmas, what you have done in the previous births. None of us know that, right? Yet, in this setup, in this lifetime, you have to go through, because the programming itself is like that. Okay? So, Saturn holds back the Venus, holds back the life, the Shukra, which is the essence of life, for a later period, for a later time. Shukra is held back, which is Venus, so that you feel, so that you stay fresh, you stay, undisturbed for the later half of your life. And towards the later half, after 30, 35, these people, they do find their partners. And then this relationship becomes a very good one. Then they get the mature, they become mature in relationships. They get that mature relationships. Probably there are people those who talk about they are very mature, this and all those nonsense. Very painful this conjunction. You have to go through pain in order to have that maturity. Without pain, there is no knowledge. Without pain, there is nothing which can be achieved in this world. That is the biggest truth. So, here when it comes to Saturn gives a lot of pain. But it is like you are in that cocoon, that your Venus is in that cocoon, trying to be a butterfly, but the time has not yet ripe. Now, when it goes wrong? When you disturb that cocoon, when you keep poking that cocoon, you bring a surgical knife and open the cocoon and you bring out that, what is that called? That maggot, not maggot, I forgot. That, that which is not butterfly, the other thing, that one, that insect, it get disturbed. So that is what is happening nowadays. They rebel. Their pain threshold, everybody do not want to be in that threshold. Everybody does not want to tolerate or bear that pain. They want to break free, resulting in what? Which? Cheating, adultery, infidelity, extramarital affair. One girl having 5 boyfriends. One girl having 1 good boyfriend, 3 half boyfriends. Okay? Or one man having a wife, 2 extramarital affair. So the uncomfortability coming due to the unbearable pain. That is why the mind wants to rebel and bring change to this existence where this Venus is unable to bloom. Okay, but if you disturb it, it goes in a very unnatural direction, right? That is why one has to wait, one has to follow the course of nature and let time take its own course. Okay, but that does not mean that you be in that pain and become that self-sabotaging, self-sacrificing homemaker or that idiot boyfriend who doesn't get anything back from his love. Rather, you should inculcate that power of tolerance and that virtue of forbearance, because the forbearance and tolerance is a virtue, one of the greatest virtue of us. So, use that power of forbearance to uplift your own self-worth. Understand your own value, how wonderful of a human being you are, how tolerant you are, what are the good qualities you have, what made you who you are. Why do you want to sacrifice your own self and sabotage your own self-esteem, self-worth for somebody who do not understand your true value? Rather, you gather all of them, be courageous, and wait for the right person or the right moment when you can break free and be that butterfly. And that time is bound to come. It will come because Saturn itself is Kala. Saturn controls the time. He has kept you in that stage because the time is not ripe. Because you had to learn all these lessons, these painful lessons. Right? And the foundation laid by Saturn is always the unbreakable one. So when you get into that right relationship later on, it will be the most fruitful, most fulfilling one. Absolutely balanced and mature. So you must wait for that time. And do not overcompensate. Do not destroy, self-sabotage yourself because you cannot take it anymore. You become impatient. And impatient, you want to get that validation from all the other men, or probably go here and there, get in touch with other women. Don't do that. Protect your Venus, protect your life, your own Shukra. Then that Shukra will let you live in a very fruitful, very rejuvenating manner. So this is all I had to say about this. If you like this video, please leave a comment. If you want to consult me, description, please read the description. I am available. You can consult me from anywhere in the world. Regardless of your time zone, I am available. And if you disagree with me, please share your opinion with me too. And check out the channel. I wish you all the best. Har Har Mahadev.